So there I was, sat in pub, rubber-dub-dub with me great big tub. Saw this bird, I went and had a word, wanted to pull her like now top said. I says, alright love, how's Vadu? I'm up for a bit. I says, how about you? And she turned round and walked away, and I mooned her and we all went way.
Oh, went way! Hey up, everybody. How's it going? I hope you're all well. Welcome back to Yorkshire's Finest with me, Jimmy from the Blades Ramble, and my mate Cal from Callum Fowler.
From the Cal.
Is
From
it
what?
Callum Fowler? EFL, your official thing?
Yeah, because I couldn't get my normal name, so just had to go with that.
Is there somebody trying to impersonate you, do you think?
I don't know. No, I did it on TikTok and all. It's just crap. Branding.
Yeah, you need to get the branding right. So, mate, look, can we agree not to talk about each other's teams? Is that should we just leave our two out?
Yeah, crap week.
It's been bad,
But it's I'll tell you what, this will end up doing best, views wise and everything like that. All Wednesday fans and Leeds fans will be in here.
Because we're both suffering. Oh, there'll be that
both
many
crap.
Wendy's, mate. That many Wendy's and Leeds fans in here. It's just, don't bear thinking about. Right, we'll do what we normally do. We're going to skip over League Two because apologies to all the arrogant fans who keep bombarding us with messages. But
Nobody cares.
yeah, there's nobody's interested. I don't think.
If there's any burning request for an arrogant review, an in-depth review, then please say your piece now, but I doubt it.
We blagged it anyway. So
yeah, we did. We're none of us getting monkeys, man.
If you couldn't tell we were blagging it, then you need a bit of work. But so we're jumping straight into League One, and the lowest team in League One currently is Rotherham United, mate.
God.
Look, Stockport are a decent side at this level, aren't they? They've spent a bit of money. Ollie Norwood's there, the conductor.
Yeah. I
think
think he got assist for it actually. Decent
yeah,
ball in.
Yeah, he's Ben Osborne's there now as well, of course. So another little Sheffield United reunion going on, but no shame in losing to Stockport. But Rotherham's poor form continues, and then what? I've just had a little check at tables. Are they 21st now?
The fourth bottom. I think relegation zone.
Yeah, 21st. Yeah,
so for me,
because this is the time now that we start looking at teams and where. Look, we don't have to do that for every team, but we look at teams' form and where they're starting to land, where their positions starting to become in the tables. Rotherham 21st, 2 games won, 1 draw, and 5 defeats. We did say at the beginning we're not convinced by Matty, I'm sure, are we, pal?
No, I'm glad you've said that and touched on that straight away. It really does worry me because I don't dislike Rotherham. I don't want them to get relegated.
No,
so
me neither.
There's none of that going on. But the morale and the sort of psychological side of things, they've had 1 win in the last 4 games. They were home to Exeter, who were awful. Bearing in mind the last 4 games have not been difficult and they've lost other 3. And even when they were winning against Exeter at home, 1-0, they sit everybody back. They don't try and go for it in a game that you need to win and probably get crowd on side and all. And I just think that speaks volumes to mentality at me. I'm scared for him.
It don't look like it's getting better anytime soon, does it? I think it's getting to a point where they're going to have to make a decision on him soon, aren't they? And have to change something because it's only going one way at the minute. And like you said, 1 win in 4? Did you say?
Yeah, they've lost the other 3.
Yeah,
I'll just look at who they're against. Donny away, Wimbledon away, and Stockport at home. 3 losses.
Tough teams to play.
Yeah,
but I
2
mean,
have just come up from League 1, League 2 even.
Well, Donny, we'll come on to Donny next because they started really well and then they've tapered off a little bit. But yeah, I do worry about Rotherham. I do.
The Hampshire thing though that you're just touching on then. I think that's even harder because it's someone that means something to them, innit? It's not just some random. It's not like Rudy Celestior. You can just sort of drop it and add. I think they're going to give him more time than they should, and it could bite him in the arse just because who he is.
Because he's been a Rotherham boy for so long.
Yeah.
Because I think he's originally Wednesday, isn't he, Matty? I'm sure, but he's been
involved with Rotherham for ages, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. You might be right, mate. You might be right. So what I thought we'd do as well this time, which is a little bit different to what we've been doing, but is they've been poor. How do you reckon they'll do this weekend?
Oh, nice. Like that little addition, Jim.
Thanks, mate.
Mansfield
away. Mansfield, they just beat at Port Vale with a man sent off.
Yeah, they did. They had 10 men for like 80 minutes or something like that. Something ridiculous. And Port Vale have won the last 2. Oh, they're coming to us next. I know, Port Vale, for God's sake. I don't really think they win. I think Mansfield are a side that can make it sort of gritty for you. I don't see Rotherham winning that.
They're not a bad side, Mansfield. Mid-table at minute. I'm just having a look now. They're 13th. 1-3
Are they almost looking at this like you've got to win this game?
Well, if you're Matty, I'm sure you've got to win this game, haven't you? I mean, what's expectations for Rotherham? I mean, this is there's the opportunity for people to phone in. If you're a Rotherham fan and you want to talk about your team, then we will have a chat about it. No danger. But what is Rotherham's expectations this season? Because surely it's survival, really.
Depends who you ask, doesn't it? I guess like the most optimistic of us all have probably said for top 6 just because they've been sort of in and around it last few times they've been in this league. But I had them going down before the season started. So I think the squad is awful.
They ain't kicked on, have they? They ain't kicked on in any which way in terms of strengthening. All other teams around them have strengthened better than them, and to be fair, mate. And I know we give each other a bit of stick every now and again, but you called this early that Rotherham were going to struggle, and yeah, it's proving not too far
Thanks
off.
for that, a little bit of credit there.
So, yeah,
you know what it was? And we can have a nice little segue into it because the 4 teams coming up again look really good. Last season, you had 3 stop up, 2 finished in top 6, 1 went up. And I think this season, it's another really good set of teams.
Yeah. Similar in Championship, which we will come to. But yeah, one of those teams that came up was Donny, and they had started well, but obviously losing at home to Wimbledon this week. I know you said before, Wimbledon are no mugs at this level. Having a little look at where they are in table, they're up to 9th now. 5 wins out of 9. Not drawn any games this season, but
in the last 3 games, in the last 5 games, even they've beaten Barnsley, Rotherham, and Donny. They've beaten all 3. They're not a bad team, honestly.
They like playing Yorkshire boys, don't they?
They do. I think a lot of teams do.
So, yeah, it's a little bit concerning. Didn't they lose week before as well, Donny? I'm sure they lost.
Yeah, they got tonked away at Wigan. Lost 3-0.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit of a honeymoon period that they need to readjust and start to go again. They've got Billy Sharp though, so
that's all right then. I do think they will just naturally find their own place in this league, Donny.
You don't fear for them sort of drifting a little bit now that a couple of results have turned?
I don't fear for them in relegation in any aspect at all, but I don't think I don't really think they are a serious threat to top 6. I think they maybe get top half. But not like obviously we will come on to it, but not like Bradford, for example. I think we've got past the point of them being a momentum side like Donny maybe are. Bradford look a proper outfit.
Yeah. So Donny have done well to get as many points banked early doors while they're riding that momentum as they can, and hopefully it'll see them to being all right. So next up for Donny, they're away at Luton, which I know you're wincing a bit there, and it looks like a tricky one on paper. Luton haven't pulled up any trees. 1-4, lost 4. Very patchy. I know you're a Bloomfield fan. I am not. I do not get the
Luton
hype.
Fans aren't either.
I don't get the hype with this guy at all. I don't get it at all.
I think he did really well. Going off the Wickham thing.
Oh, he did really well with Wickham. You could say Gareth Ainsworth did well with Wickham, to be fair, and nobody likes Gareth Ainsworth. So it's I'm not convinced by Matt Bloomfield, and I think Donny. Don't be surprised if Donny go to Luton and get something.
Oh, I would be though. I would be surprised. Yeah, I know we're saying that. No, I think Luton win that, definitely. And we're talking about, like you just said, 4 wins, 4 losses. So there's no middle ground with Luton really at all in any of the games. But I just think personnel-wise, this is such a big gap. Some teams that have gone to Luton and got some, you're looking at like Cardiff and Plymouth, and even Plymouth will come down and don't look all that. Personnel, Donny cannot get close to that Luton team, I don't think.
But don't you think, like Kenilworth Road, as Luton have gone up through the leagues, has been a bit of a leveller for Luton? Because it's tighter ground and it's making bigger players feel uncomfortable. Does that flip the script a little bit now that they're one of the bigger fish in this league and scrappy teams like Donny come to them and they have to try and it might work against them rather than for them this time?
I feel like that was the same last season though. You know what I mean? Like I think they've not adjusted properly to not being an underdog anymore. I think that's what it is. They went up. They did that for years on end. Nobody really took them seriously. Even when they got promoted from League One, they'd only just come up from League Two. And I think they rode that way for so long, trying to now adjust and be a favourite and on front foot all the time, I think is probably what they're finding difficult. But I don't think they're going to Luton and get out me, Donny. I really don't. And I would like them to.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think they're as much as a threat. And obviously I'm a Barnsley fan, so I want Luton to be away from this.
We're going to have to start flipping this round because every time we go Rotherham, Donny, then we go Bradford, Huddersfield, and we're going Bradford again. But I think next time, these boys will have to be last or coming up last. I know we saved Barnsley. No matter where they are in table. But Bradford going to Cardiff and winning 3-1. I love Bradford. You know, I've got an affinity to Bradford. It's where my dad first started and all this sort of stuff, and we had a lot of good times there. But I love the fact that they are having a bit of a resurgence here under Alexander. And 3-1 at Cardiff is no mugs result at all. I don't think anybody would have had them down to go to Cardiff and win. And that result puts them top at league.
Yeah.
Cardiff are fourth, by the way, have done really well themselves. They've played 8 games, won 5, drawn 2, and
it's the first loss.
The first game that they've lost, Cardiff. So they've still got a game in hand on Bradford. But Bradford top at table. 6 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss.
Thing is, really as well, good. Like Cardiff hadn't even conceded a goal that weren't a penalty. In the first 7 games, they've not conceded a goal that isn't a penalty. I know Bradford scored one here, but they opened them up quite well. I don't think the highlights, because I looked at the extended ones, it was like a 10-minute thing, and it didn't show it in the shorter one how many goals there could have been from both sides. In fairness, Cardiff looked like they could have had a few, but Bradford carved open what is probably one of the best defensive sides easily over and over again. They're a good team. You think they could do it?
They're a good team. Do I think Bradford can do it?
Yeah,
I think they'll finish top 6.
I do it all now. I'm starting to take them seriously.
But it's a case of who drops out of that top 6, because there's some good sides at the level, isn't there? Huddersfield, Cardiff.
Yeah, but you look who's in it now, and top 3 is Bradford, Stevenage, and Lincoln.
Yeah,
so it's anybody's game.
Yeah. But I love it though. What do you think to Alexander as a boss? Obviously, he's doing really well at the moment, but do you think he's patchy, or do you think it's a case of he's never really had a proper run at it and never been backed? What's your thoughts on him?
That is maybe it, because when you look at the Bradford team, apart from you have got some that do look better than others in terms of, I could see him doing a decent job at this level for another club, for example, if Bradford weren't here, like Poynton or that Newville, the right back that they got from Wimbledon. Yeah. But there's not really anybody in there that I look at and think, wow, what a player, like I do with Luton and Cardiff, Bolton, Barnsley, Huddersfield, that like the other bigger side. Like I saw their little, I knew it. I just knew you were going to pick up on that. But they ain't got someone like Davis Keeler-Dunn. You know what I mean? They ain't got someone that I look at and think, bloody hell, he's going to go for a lot of money. He's a very good player for this league. But the top, and they've had a very hard start as well, because they've beaten Luton and Cardiff,
crazy, isn't it?
And Stockport away.
Yeah.
They've had some great results. I just think they're a very well-drilled team, and that has got to stem from manager, hasn't it? Really?
Of course it has. I
think they're a great side.
I'm delighted for him. I'm delighted for Bradford.
They've been through some crap, haven't they, for a long time? They deserve a bit.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. Big club for League 2 level, and now come up to League 1, and hopefully they can readjust now and go again, maybe. So they play the mighty Blackpool.
Okay.
The mighty Blackpool. What are your thoughts on Blackpool, pal? We will come on to this, obviously, but
crap.
They're not going to trouble Bradford, are they?
You know what? Seriously, I think they might. No, you're laughing, Jim. I really think they might do. Not because they're a decent side, because they're not. But I think Bradford, when they're the favourite in a game, and Blackpool are going to go to there and sort of shut up shop and make it just horrible, they struggled in League 2 for so long because they were favourite, I think, and trying to break teams like that down. In the games that they've been underdog in, like the Cardiff one and Stockport and Luton, they've won them all. I think games like this is where they might struggle a bit.
Okay.
A little bit of insight there. Bit of analysis.
No, I like it.
That one.
I like it.
Thanks.
I don't agree. I think Bradford won the beat. Because if you can't beat Blackpool in form that they're in,
right, yeah,
and you're struggling, aren't you? Really?
You wait till we get on Championship.
I'm just getting the early ones in. No, I fancy Bradford to take all 3 points at Valley Parade there. Huddersfield Town. What is happening to Huddersfield here? What is happening? So this is Burton. It's a new badge for Burton, by the way. So that if you don't recognise that, this is the Brewers. Burton Albion, perennial strugglers in this league, often down at the bottom. Scrappy team that, scrape out of it by the skin of the teeth most years. Huddersfield, well fancied. I've lost a couple of big hitters, which I think sometimes goes under the radar, but I've brought in some big hitters for the level. Alfie May being the standout at something like 1.2 million quid.
Yeah.
He should be league's top scorer, or certainly up there. You've got players like Keeler-Dunn as well, which I appreciate. But Alfie May is known to be a little bit of a cheat code at the level. Played really well for Birmingham, as and when he could squeeze into their side. I think it's looking a bit sticky for Lee Grant at the minute, isn't it? It's sort of the momentum's halted. Significantly lost at Bradford that they lost.
Yeah, they lost 3-1.
Yeah, I didn't know whether it were. I can't remember whether it were at Town or at Bradford, but lost to Bradford last week, who are obviously on a fine run of form, but that's their local rivals. Lee Grant, unproven manager.
Have you watched highlights of this?
No. Is there any highlights?
Exactly. Well, if it's 0-0, I don't watch. So there's not a lot to go off on that perspective. But for all the negatives that we can say about them not beating Burton and they've only won 1 in 4, they are 5th. Do you know what I mean? Like, despite not playing well, I think that's a rate points tally. And again, they've not played that well. I don't think a few of these teams are, like Stockport, for example, they're in 8th. Luton are in 11th. But Huddersfield, I don't think have played that well in any game that I've truly seen. And they're still in 5th. So I just think if it does click, imagine.
What's the latest form though, pal? Have you got it there?
1 win in 4 games. They've lost 2.
1 win in 4. So they started well because they've got 5 wins on board.
And then they come to Barnsley and got hammered. That is what it were. They started
No shame.
Come to the Well, got battered. Then they bet Peterborough game after, but only 3-2. And Peterborough had 1 point, I believe, at the time. Went to Bradford and got hammered. And then they've not managed to break up in Burton. Oh, to be fair, they've only conceded 10 goals. So they're not the easiest to break down anyway. And we're 3 of them.
Well, that's where Huddersfield are coming unstuck because they've scored 15, but they've let in 15 as well. They've let in 11. So it's not. I would look 5th. You can't grumble at 5th, and you know it's a decent return for where they are. Barnsley have got a game in hand on them. So if you get anything more than a point, then you're going. If you get a point, you're going above them. So it's 6th in all honesty, and I think that's slightly disappointing for where Huddersfield would have expected to be. I think I certainly had them as league title favourites. It's always difficult to look at a new manager and wonder how he's going to go. And there's obviously a reason they appointed him, but interviewing well in always a great barometer, is it? So,
but I feel like you could probably say this about like a Southampton or an Ipswich as well. A team that's come down, made a new manager appointment and loads of changes to starting 11. There's probably 9 new starters in this Huddersfield team. I don't think even though they are miles better personnel-wise than someone like Burton, I don't think you can just almost click your fingers and immediately start winning games. I do think someone like that does take time with the amount of changes that they've made. And the teams that you're looking at top, Bradford, Stevenage, Lincoln, Cardiff, and Barnsley really, and made loads of changes to the team. They've kept a lot of the better players and only tweaked certain things. Huddersfield have changed everything. So to still be in there, and they've not had an hard start, in fairness, I don't think, but to still be in and around it and not playing that well, I think it's all right for him.
So there's still more to come from him, we think.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They're not enough first year yet.
Yeah, there's not enough to say that, Grant's not really doing it yet, is there? I don't think. They're away at Exeter next. And Exeter, where are they?
I think Huddersfield will win that.
Yeah, they'll need to, though. They'll need to win it to get back on track, and it's probably a good time to play Exeter, I would have thought. So, okay, let's go to the
Exeter.
Final League One team that we're going to cover today. The Mighty Reds. What's happened here, mate? Did I watch along, didn't you? Because I was watching bits of it when I could.
Yeah, I did, yeah. And people are calling me a fake fan. As if I've not done
that. I saw you bite at that.
Yeah, because they do my head in. Fake fan. There's only 3 away grounds in this division I've not done. Get a grip. I've done more away games than these fellas have done home ones. Shut your mouth. I'm not bitter. But yeah anyway. I go to aways.
That won't keep happening now. They've got a bite, will it?
But anyway. Oh God, yeah, you're right. But first half we were excellent. I think we had like 75% possession. We should genuinely been like 4-0 up. I think even...
Did the Magic Man play?
Yeah, he did, and he missed a sitter from a yard. Again, I do think Didze makes the hardest things look so easy. Like his first touch, it could be chesting something that's come down with snow on it from outer space, and he'll just like perfectly stop it dead. And then a tapping from 3 inch, he misses. He's so weird.
That's our boy.
He's such a weird fella. I do love him though, because just his general play is outstanding. Then he misses that. Dunn had 2 shots from edge at box that he should have scored. But even taking bias out of it, Blackpool should have had 10 men in 10th minute, I think. Phillips is through for a tap in. He gets his shirt ragged off and ref shits his pants. But anyway, we should have been outside in first half, but we weren't. So just pick your lip up and move on. And in second half, we just resorted to total hoofball for some reason. We're pissing it down, so it's just going to bounce all over the place. We were awful that second half. It was like watching us last couple of years. But I just hope it. I imagine it'll change because the group of players in Uri, and I don't think he'll let that dwell for too long.
No, that's true. And that were only Blackpool's second win of the season, weren't it?
The third bottom still.
They have not started well. Steve Bruce under a lot of pressure.
You can see why and all off that first half because it was shocking.
Yeah, and they've still gone on to win game. And things that, look, obviously, I hadn't seen game. I heard a little bit of your commentary, and you've said that you were a better side, certainly in first half, and then were poor in second half, didn't probably deserve to get out. But these things happen, don't they? Freak results, if you like. And
not every team can just win every game, regardless of how good you are. But even after this, I am still very confident in us.
So that leaves, obviously, you've said Blackpool are 22nd still. They've still got a game in hand on most teams. 1-2, drawn 1, lost 5. Barnsley, despite that loss, have got a game in hand on most at teams in top 6. You are 6th as it stands. 1-5, drawn 1, lost 2. So you've got a game in hand on Huddersfield above you. Yeah, I think you're still in a really strong position, mate. It's
looking good. We've got some fairly hard fixtures coming up, but I genuinely do back us.
Well, your next one coming up is there's actually a Port Vale thing there that you can't see because it's because of where they've done the badges.
It's in gold. If I lean on it like this,
there you go. Look at that. It's like it's on your shirt. So Port Vale, who are struggling more than I thought. Actually, down in 19th.
But it's a false position, and I'm not even just saying this because they're about to play us to try and get a reason. You know, when we're here next week and we've lost 1-0.
Yeah. I told you they were in a false position.
Before they won the last 2, I was saying this. They've played well in a lot of the games. I just don't think they've sort of had look at drawing a lot of it. But they brought Devante Cole in on deadline day. I think he's got 3 goals and an assist in 3 games, and now he's coming to our place next. So I'm not
former Barnsley striker, son of the great Andy Cole.
Yep. And Fruit Towel in 6 months on his contract left at us. So you imagine he's now going to score an hat-trick against us on his return. I do think we'll win, though. Seriously.
Do you think? I was going to say, what do you fancy the result to be here then? 2-1?
I do think they'll score because a lot do, but I think it'll be comfy, 3-1. I think there'll be a lot made of the Cole thing, and we'll just breeze past it, I think. I really do. I'm confident.
Okay. Right. Moving into the Championship.
Here we go.
Where the big boys play. We're going to start with Hull, who had
of course we are.
Of course we are. Who had a great result. You can't say any other. This is a really positive result for Hull. Home, yes, but Southampton, fancied team coming to. Haven't really settled yet, Southampton, but certainly have settled better than Sheffield United. Whereas Southampton are down in 19th. Didn't realise that. So that we've played fewer games in the Championship than League One. 6 games played for most teams. Southampton have won 1, drawn 3, and lost 2. This is a great result for Hull. Hull have drawn 1-2, drawn 2, and lost 2. So Hull are up in 13th now after that. McBurney again.
Goal and assists, I think, again. What's he on? 3 goals, 3 assists in 6 games since coming back? That's 6 times more than Sheffield United. McBurney on himself.
Look, we haven't covered Sheffield United yet. Right?
Oh, okay. Just getting you warm for it. But I think a lot of teams are missing someone like McBurney. I think his link-up play is very good. And if you play to his striker strengths, you're going to get goals, and they are doing. They're not a bad side.
Smug about it.
They're not. I'm not. We're talking about Hull here, Jimmy. I genuinely think Hull aren't a bad side. I had them going down before the season started. I've definitely changed my mind.
Thing is, we've got 3 games now before next international break. This is Sheffield United, and I know we'll come on to them. We're away at Oxford next, which is not an easy game. A lot of people see little old Oxford, but away at Oxford, they've just beaten Bristol City away from home. I think Oxford are a decent side.
Yeah.
Then we've got Southampton at home. Yes, they've lost here, but we all know what they've got in terms of individual quality. And then the last game before we go to international break is away at Hull. There's a real chance we could be in a lot of bother come next international break. But
it's a very tough league in general, isn't it? Like,
it is.
There's no lead. There's no Leeds or Burnley or even a Sheffield United from last season. I don't think there is anybody that's a true level above everybody else.
No.
Apart from Wednesday, it's just you can't put it out.
We'll come to that when we cover Sheffield United, I think, because there are a few bits I'll say about it. But this is a really strong result for Hull, and I don't think
it is.
We should just breeze past it. I think it's right that we've both given credit there because it's not an easy game to play against Southampton at any time at season at this level. So Hull up next have got Watford away.
Watford are fourth bottom. I said they go down as well. Am I onto something?
I thought, well, they play tonight. I'm actually doing a watch along. If anybody wants to.
I'm actually not as well. So guys,
get in. Nice, thank you, mate. So yeah, away at Watford, patchy old Watford, who nobody can really predict that easily. But it wouldn't surprise anybody if Hull went and got some at Watford either, would it? So
they're an hard set of fixtures next weekend. Very hard set. The Championship. There's not many I'd want to tip there, but yeah, Watford are fourth bottom. They're just a very dodgy side. But then again, they win one game and they go up into top half. So,
speaking of dodgy sides, mate,
we've actually got to give them credit for once.
I can't not give them credit.
It'll be very rare that we see something like this.
I was intrigued as to how you would want to approach, because we don't speak about any of these before we come on. We just, to be honest, we say all right to each other 5 minutes before we come on, and then we pretty much go live. Because otherwise, I find if you start talking about stuff, then you'll end up repeating it.
We end up sitting on here for 20 minutes after.
Yeah, we
waffling.
Would. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we catch up afterwards properly, like. But I didn't know how you were going to approach this, and I find it hard myself. Obviously, we've got a legit rivalry with Wednesday. Barnsley and Wednesday don't like each other, but you've obviously made a name purely off berating Sheff Wednesday. That's what a lot of people
nothing
think.
Else, Steve, just that.
That was the joke that didn't come off very well, but a lot of Wednesdayites think you have just got it solidly in for them, don't they? And it's, I mean, I know
there's a few. Wednesday just near top. That's all it is.
Exactly right. But I think we have to look. They're in a mess as a club. They're in an absolute mess, and you won't wish it on your worst enemy. What's happening to the club? You might, but you wouldn't. I think it's poor what's happening to them. On the whole, I don't like the fact that staff members haven't been paid and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's the only thing I feel sorry for.
Whatever you think of them, they've lost a load of players through mismanagement at club, and they are fighting with one arm tied behind their back this season, and they will go down. I'm still very, very confident of it. But they've gone and they've gone to Portsmouth, who are a decent side. I don't know what's happened in this game, but Portsmouth have come unstuck, and Wednesday have beaten them. And I think Wednesday are a League One side at best, if I'm honest, with no depth beneath them either. But Bazza Bannon leads them to another rare victory on the road.
I don't even want to address this, because the commentator said that he was some free kick specialist, and he's hit 1 in 5 years. Absolute waffle. But that other lad, the young kid that they've got up front, I didn't mind that. I'm glad that he didn't put it out to play, because centre half pulled up, didn't he? That's Shaughnessy for Portsmouth. And then I feel like some people are like, well, why don't you put it out to play? No one's. If that were for your team, you'd be fuming to put that out. Especially for an 18-year-old kid to go through on goal and get his first proper chance. I don't blame him at all. I'd have done the same thing. I'd expect anybody to go and do the same thing there. But I do think that gaffer looks okay to be dealing with what he is doing, really. But yeah, I do think it'll be quite rare that we're looking at something like this. So
yeah, agreed. Yeah, we'll give him the flowers as a rare occasion.
Going down last.
Yeah, still going down bottom of the league, and hopefully QPR can continue with that rot. Really, if they want to do it. But how have QPR done? Let's have a look where QPR are.
Won the last 3.
So then up to 9th now, and that's 3 on spin. Yeah, I think it stops here, doesn't it? Wednesday, little fleeting victory for Sheff Wednesday. And the thing is, the problem we've got here is because they won and they were already on a point, it don't matter what Sheffield United do this weekend, we can't get above them because Sheffield United. Oh, mate.
Oh, there we go. Come on.
Look, I don't know what you want me to say about this because it's been an absolutely catastrophic start to the season for Sheffield United. For those that aren't fully aware, we lost 5 games on spin in the league. And that was because we'd appointed Ruben Sayers, who was the wrong man at the wrong time, tried to change everything about the club in terms of the philosophy. And he started talking about vertical attacking football and all this nonsense.
They're in Sheff, man. Come on.
I know. Know your audience. Yeah. Exactly right. We were signing players based on their top end potential. So maybe they might eventually reach a decent level, not really focusing on the here and now. and we needed the here and now. And look, at transfer deadline day, we sort of, and towards the end of the window, we rushed and got players in, and we were excited about that because it looked for a long time like we weren't going to get the right players in, but we got a decent amount of players in. I'm not saying they were the best players, by the way, but there were players that we needed at the time to pad the squad out. Tanganga's a brilliant signing for us, but the jury's still out on some of them, and it will be for some time. I think you've got to give them time to adjust as well. And they finally made the change. We got hammered 5-0 at Ipswich weekend before. And I love how you're just smiling your way through this. But we got hammered, and there were no way back for Ruben Sayers. It didn't look anything like on the pitch. And I know most people looking outside, and we talked about this last time, will think it's harsh to only give him so few games. But you've watched us, Carl.
No, you can understand why.
Yeah, there's no hope.
The Ipswich game really, I think, made people aware. I think you needed something like that to get rid. We've
been so far off, far off. And then Chris Wilder comes back in, and Chris Wilder, the man who got us to 92 points last season, we fell at the final hurdle in the playoffs. He didn't play the most attractive style of football, but it was winning football, and that's all that matters. And immediately you get sort of caught up in that, well, it's going to be fine now because Wilder's back. And that was the trap that I fell into, and a lot of Blades fell into.
So did I, to be fair. I thought you'd win this.
I thought, to be honest, and look, it wasn't that I looked past Charlton, because I know Charlton are a decent side, but you wouldn't want many other fixtures other than Charlton at home, because they're the side that came up from League One through the playoffs. And yes, they're a plucky side, and they've made some decent signings quietly, really, in the shadow of Wrexham and Birmingham coming up. But they've, like you were saying earlier, and we said we'd come back to it, this league has got a lot stronger, particularly bottom end of the league is a lot stronger than last time. So you have to work. It's scary,
the thought of coming up into this. Whereas you have to spend loads of money.
Exactly. And you have to work hard to get anything at the level. You always have had to work hard, but particularly this season, I think you have to work hard. And what happened in this game was there wasn't enough from the players. And I think the job is bigger than Wilder and a lot of us initially anticipated. There's a bit of a rot that's set in with some of the players. I don't know whether it's a belief or a confidence thing. I don't know whether he was getting more out of them than they're actually able to give
an element of that
consistent basis. But Charlton, you have to give Charlton credit as well, because I'm not saying they deserve to come and turn us over, but they certainly dealt with us really well. They were really well organised, proper disciplined side. They went compact. As soon as they lost possession, they were back in shape, and they said, "Come at us then. If you can break us down, then come." And we couldn't. We couldn't.
So I want to touch on that.
Shot on target all game. Mate.
Because it's easy to say this in hindsight after you've lost, but I don't think it is a fixture that you look at and really want, especially when your goal tally is 1 before this game. I don't think you want somebody that is going to come and be so defensively solid with Nathan Jones. I think that's probably the opposite of what you want. You want somebody that's probably going to come and have a bit of a go at you.
Yeah.
Because last season you were defensively quite good and you could almost deal with that. So looking back at it now, I don't think it is a game that you probably did want someone like Nathan Jones coming to your place on Wilder's return. No.
And it's
just a pantomime villain, isn't he? And all he just lives for stuff like that.
Yeah, he does. And I do buy into in terms of like it winds me up as well, whether he's playing us or he's not playing us. But you have to give him credit for what job he does. And
of course.
He did exactly what he needed to do, and they've ended up nicking it at end. And it's fair enough. And we have to say we need to be better. And you're right, it'd have been much better playing somebody like a Millwall or somebody that's going to come on to us a little bit rather than just wall up all the time, or somebody. Whoever it might be, there's a few teams in this league like a Stoke or somebody like that, even though Stoke are higher up in the table. Somebody that fancies the chances at nicking something against us, a Middlesbrough even, with Wilder in charge. It's just, I think the task is a lot bigger than we initially thought. And we certainly got carried away with Wilder returning. So we go to Oxford now next weekend, and this is what we'll come to now. And it's not an easy one.
No,
not an easy one at all.
Nothing's easy, is it? So
no,
we could just say that for every game. But I didn't see them beating Bristol City in the manner that they did as well.
Played well, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, I only watched highlights and that afterwards, and obviously looking at stats and stuff. But they had a lot of shots away at a good side who, if they'd have won, they'd have gone second. Bristol City they're no mugs at all, Bristol City, is what I want to say. But I think Oxford and Gary Rowett it's just another team that people, like you said before we went on that, people just look at them and think, they're tidgy, we'll steamroll them.
Yeah.
It's just not the case, ever.
No, it No, it ain't. So I always like to ask you, because it's and we've got people that come into our chat as neutrals as well. And I know you've got a little bit of you watch more of United than probably any other side other than Barnsley. But what's your thoughts on Sheffield United turning it round? Do you think it's going to be a bit more pain before we can actually get there, or do you think you look at the individuals we've got and it should be sooner rather than later?
I think Wilder wants to probably get to that international break quite quick, is what I would say. If you who are your next fixtures, Oxford away, which in easy, Southampton at home, and Hull away.
Hull away. I know.
I think I think he's sweating, just waiting for that international break to really have a bit of time with him, because he has come straight back in, and it's like, right, come on, let's just get on with it, like it's like nothing's happened. And I think you've got to have a little bit of time for squad to sort of assess what's gone on with Sellers and why it didn't work, and not just think that this manager who was so good last season can come in and snap his fingers and everything will be all right again. I think you'll be fine. Like I do, I really do. I know one win still leaves you bottom at league, but I do think you'll be fine. There are surely 3 teams worse than you in this league, surely. Apart from Wednesday, across a full season, surely.
So we may well limp into the international break. Do you think we go into the international break bottom at league?
Yeah, with them 3 games. I don't think you get more than 4 points out of them 3 games. Right? I don't think you win this one. I think you could maybe beat Southampton, because I feel like, come on, Jim, you're all right. It's okay. I think the Southampton one's quite big, because I feel like you need the home aspect.
Yeah, we do.
That after that game. But I feel like you need that, and then all away is not an easy one at all. And someone like McBurney was just gonna want to score.
He's going to score, isn't he? He's going to Egan it back
just to get. He doesn't run past Wilder doing that.
John Egan. No, him and Wilder are pals, but he'll still do that.
Egan, Lundstrom, McBurney's core.
Yeah, Egan, Lundstrom, McBurney. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
If you go in 0 from 9,
0 from 9.
If you lose the next 3 games, you are 0 points.
I understand how the maths works, but I didn't. Not many people would have had a 0 from 6, would we? So I doubt. I can't even say it out loud. We can't go 0 and 9. We can't. I think we get some at Oxford. I think we get some. I'm not saying we beat them, but I think we come away with some at Oxford. So what you reckon?
I don't know. I don't think you win. I feel like you could draw, but you know the manner that they bet Bristol City in. I think that's maybe giving them a bit of a like, oh, we are actually a decent side, us, because it's the first win, innit? They'd lost 3 out of the first 5 games, which really wasn't a good start. But the last 3 they've not lost in, so I feel like Rowett has maybe got a bit of a grip of them now with the odd couple of players that they brought in. That Belgian fella at midfield for them looks quite good, and I still stand by that. I think that's an area that you look quite weak in.
The Kirschmacher, is it? Something like that?
Yeah. This summit. But I think I'd go a draw, but I would not be surprised to see you 0 from 7. I don't think you win. I really don't.
Leeds United, the final team we're going to talk about. And look, we didn't like talking about Wednesday. We don't like talking about Leeds doing this well as well. But
no.
Look, how rubbish are Wolves going 5 losses on spin? They must be crap. So Leeds, great result for Leeds. They needed it. They absolutely needed it. And that obviously with the opening day win against Everton, that has shot them up the table. They are up to 12th now. 5 played, 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. They've already played Arsenal away, obviously, but so ticked that one off and got it out of the way, if you like. A lot of people were saying that, look, Sunderland have done the best out of the 3 promoted sides. Leeds are a little bit short up top. They've gone and got 3 goals away from home here, and they're only a point behind Sunderland as it stands. So Sunderland are up in 7th, but are on 8 points. Leeds are in 12th on 7 points. Has this changed your opinion of Leeds United at all,
no.
Carl, and their chances of staying up?
No.
You still think they finish bottom at pile?
Yep.
Really?
Honestly, still. The only thing it's changed is I am starting to get pulled into thinking that Sunderland could maybe stay up. That's the only thing that this has changed, because Wolves look terrible. Terrible. And especially if they're going to get manager a new contract. Obviously, they're keeping Strand Larsen. The depth is all right, but Wolves look like a newly promoted team with Strand Larsen. They do not look good at all. I feel like going forward, they did create some chances, and I feel like we sort of shouldn't over that, but especially in second half. Wolves were really on top of them, but just couldn't. Look, they just didn't have it really in final third, did they? With the cutting edge in front of goal. But Leeds, they're not going to go and dominate games when they eventually do win. So I feel like we've got to sort of put an asterisk next to these 3 promoted teams, haven't we? That you're not going to go and dominate games and win. If you win, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Defensively, I still think they're okay, Leeds, and I think that is a strong point. I still think they're lacking a lot up front because the Calvert-Lewin header were really good, but that's not a clear-cut chance that at all.
No,
he's done really well to turn it in.
Yeah, I'm going to say you got to give him credit for it, haven't you? He's,
definitely
done really well.
But I still think across a full season, these lack the firepower definitely to stay up. I think they still finish last, but I do think the Sunderland. I'm starting to get full into that conversation now.
Nice. And similar vein as to what we've been talking about lower down the leagues. Leeds' next game up is at home to Bournemouth. And on paper, in years gone by, people would have said, oh, it's a winnable game for Leeds, this. Bournemouth are 4th.
Yeah.
Bournemouth have not missed a beat at all from last season when people thought, oh, well, they've had a couple of players cherry-picked from them. They've replenished. David Brooks is looking like a different man. They are looking really strong, Bournemouth, and I can't see anything but them taking all 3 points at Ellen Road.
Same. But I don't. It depends what sort of Leeds team rocks up here. Because in the games that they've played so far, obviously they scored 2 against Liverpool in first game. Liverpool are going to come and have a go at you. Wolves are a side that do a complete opposite, and I feel like they sat in quite well. I think they had 10 men, and then they only bet Wolves 1-0. Against the Tottenham side, they only won 1-0 again, but they had loads of shots against the side that's going to come for you. Same as Brighton. So it depends what sort of team and setup that Leeds go with. I think if they try and sit in and, similar to the Everton game, I think if they sit in and defend and try and play on counter occasionally, but just make sure that they don't concede, I honestly think they'll get something out of that. But if they think, oh, we're looking at Bournemouth here, and this is a side that just because the Bournemouth, oh, we could beat these, then I think they get steamrolled. But it just depends what sort of Leeds team rocks up. I don't think they'll win. I definitely don't think they'll win. But I think they could nick a draw if they try and just sit in.
Okay.
That's what they're good at. All 3 of them sides, they're good at not getting beaten so far.
It's time for the most prestigious award in all of football.
Oh, God.
The Didier Award.
The shiny head.
Who gets the shiny head? Who gets the performance of the week? I want a player and a team from you this week.
Really?
Yeah.
A player and a team. See.
I can go if you want.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, go on then, because I'm struggling on a team.
I'm going Calvert-Lewin as my player.
That's ridiculous.
I don't think it is. Look, I am a little bit biased because he's a blade, but he's playing for Leeds. Obviously, it's a comeback goal. He's had a horrific injury that he's come back from. A lot of pressure on his shoulders to come in as the new number 9. I think he's done really well with the goal itself. But I'm just absolutely delighted for him as a player to come back in and sort of rejuvenate his career. And look, I'm no massive Leeds fan at all. I've warmed to him since doing a bit of work with Connor. I can't tell you any different. But I know. But I love Calvert-Lewin. And I don't think he'll go on and be this 15 goal a season striker in Premier League. But I am pleased for him that he's.
I think he'll get 6.
He's got his goal. Yeah, I think you're about right. Go on then. Who's your player?
Have you got? Oh, okay.
No, go on. What were you going to say?
No, I'm going to ask you if you don't want to do your team, but we can do player, team, if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Player, I am sticking with Leeds, but I'm going to go Carl Darlow, Keeps. I honestly am. Because there's been a lot of noise surrounding Melier, and they obviously brought this new keeper and they look quite good. But Darlow in his last 2 games, I think, has been outstanding.
He almost got it at Fulham, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing we can do about that when it's bounced off whatever his name, his head, and got it top bins. And I think he made some really impressive saves in this one again. And for a number 3, realistically, I think he's had a great couple of games. Because I reckon if they had somebody else in net, that could have been a lot different.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Mate. Do you want to go first with team then?
Not really.
You're not going to do it, are you? You can't do it.
There's a couple, though. You could go for Leeds or Wednesday.
Don't
Bradford.
Go for Wednesday.
Really. They're the 3 that you can go for. Or Harrogate if you really fancy it.
How did Harrogate do?
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know.
Since I went to the point of making it up, it's 2.
Wow. Shrewsbury is second bottom, I think. So that's not.
Yeah, they are.
They should have been crap since they've gone down.
Good.
I'm getting Bradford.
Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, so am I. I'm definitely going Bradford. Yeah, the other
Definitely.
one, the other standout. I mean, like you said, Leeds is a good result, but Wolves are atrocious. And if they're going to target any away game to get any points, you would fully expect them to get that. I don't think you'd set same about Bradford in terms of going to Cardiff and expecting them to beat Cardiff. I think Wednesday is the only other one that you could look at and say that's a really impressive result performance.
Yeah, and maybe all context included, it should be Wednesday, but
No, it shouldn't.
let's
It
go
should be
Bradford.
Bradford.
Yeah, let's go Bradford.
All day long, it's Bradford City. So Bradford win the team award, and 2 Leeds players each get a performance award.
See, we're not biased.
Congratulations on winning the Didsy this week. Performance of the week. Let's get into some comments, pal, before we in fact, don't want to miss these because they are super chats for Cal. UTA up the summer. Nathan
Addicts.
Jones addicts. It'll be Nathan Jones has slapped the Lord with Ham Sani. 199 super chat. Thank you, Pat. I thought you played well.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, you know what I want to say? When I went and filmed something for Sportman earlier, guys, and then no, because I said you've got to actually be quite professional on there. You can't be, which is very not me. I know.
I'm going to say what? Yeah,
why before me if you want professionalism. And then we were doing one at TikToks at end, and I was saying it were a question about like sides with parachute payments that you think could get promoted still, and I like Sheffield United definitely not. And I was going into like some proper analysis, and then at end I was like, and wild as an egg. And I couldn't help myself but to say that wild as an egg. It just like it fell straight off the tongue.
Why?
I just thought I'd bring that up.
Thanks up the addicts. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Kelly Kiss.
Kelly Kiss. Kelly with another £10. $10 for Cal. For the pretty fella on the Sportsman who was spouting uninformed opinions about Wrexham.
I disagree. I know what that's about because we're talking about Parkinson potentially getting sacked at some point. And a lot of Wrexham fans, well, obviously Wrexham fans know more about it than we do, but they don't think he'll get sacked even if he finishes like 4th bottom. And
he will.
I know. And my perspective is any team, regardless of the Wrexham factor, if a team gets promoted from League One and spends £30 million, the ambition is top 6, not 4th bottom.
100%.
So they've been so cutthroat with the players. Why will it be any different with manager? That's my perspective.
Parky's getting sacked if he doesn't start climbing table. And I think it's been a really good result for him to win at Norwich at the weekend. I think he needed it. He absolutely needed it because he were banging trouble. And I thought it might be one that before we got him back that Wilder might have been touted for.
Yeah, I think Roll will get it, me. Honestly, I think he'll be in that sort of combo. But if he's not in and around top half at least by Christmas, he's gone.
Yeah,
because they're not going to want to get to January, drop another £20 million on players that, for a manager, even they're not rating.
Jamie Dumplings, thank you, pal. Jamie Dumpling has sent a £5 super chat on Ramble FC this time. Thank you, pal. And it is live on the internet now.
I tuned into your thing yesterday for 5 minutes, and you were on about this, and I don't get it.
I tuned in for 5 minutes because I couldn't be asked watching the rest of it.
I was there doing this, watching it.
So, basically, I do 90 after 90, which is a call-in show after that. It's a match reaction, but we let people call in and have a chat about what they think about it. And Man Mountain, one of our regulars, who does a couple of shows with us, is top lad. Yeah. He came on and he'd done a watch-along for us earlier in the day. And he's on his phone talking to us for calling, and his missus clearly didn't know they were on internet. So she comes in, and she's like, "Paul, can you do this?" And we're like, "Love, don't. I'm." She said, "No, I need you to come and sort it." He says, "I am live on the internet." But you had to see it to sort of appreciate it. It was so funny, so funny. Alfie says, "Always believe in Devante Cole."
Go. He's defo scoring, by the way, and he'll get bigger.
Yeah, same as McBurney when we play him. It's the ex-player comes back to haunt you sort of thing.
But didn't he leave on decent terms from your?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And to be honest, if Wilder had been in charge when he were a free agent, I think he comes back to Sheffield United. But obviously we've missed the boat then, and it's.
But Cole is going to get pelters all game from our fans.
And he proper threw towel in when he were in the last 6 months. Is that what?
No, he didn't throw a towel in. He was still starting all the time, but he was shit. And he stopped running and he stopped trying because he knew we were going to get a championship move. And we were starting to slightly fade away and we didn't look like we were a serious threat to it, even though we were still in playoffs. And then he left immediately. After getting it, when he first come back, he was getting it big and that I shouldn't have left first time because he's had 2 spells at us. and then he jumped ship again. He's going to get some serious abuse, some dogs abuse the weekend.
He nearly signed for Sheffield United at one point because
I bet they're glad he didn't. He's crap in Championship.
There were a mini documentary following Chris Wilder around on transfer deadline day about 8 years ago, and he's on phone to Cole's agent, and he's saying we can't go to 500 grand. We can't do that. We can't go to 500 grand.
Where were we then? Were you still at City, going out on loans?
No, he might have been at your. Was it his first time with you? Oh no, Fleetwood. He might have been at Fleetwood at that time.
Okay, yeah. 500 grand at that time.
I know.
Hell.
Well, that's why he said no. Hello, Cal and Jimmy says Sadie. Hello,
Sadie.
Yes. One of Cal's mods, I think.
Yep. We've been upgrading some people.
Wednesday nights are right annoying. Yeah, absolutely right. Let's have a look. I'm trying to filter through some of your chats. It's a minefield, mate. Just want to say, Jim, you and the rest of the Blades were telling us how terrible Bogle was going to be. Arguably been our best player. Early days yet, but he's done so well. Look, to be fair, that is very true, Felix. I certainly did
for them.
Yeah, I certainly did say we're going to be poor because he was poor for us in a back four. I think he's a much better wing back than he's a right back. But players can improve, and with better players around him, and I'm not saying that you've definitely got better players than we had.
Are you saying Sheffield United players are crap?
No, he's clearly comfortable the way that you play, and he's playing all right. I don't like the way that he left, but that would be me being bitter. And to be fair to him, he is playing well.
Some players different teams better. Do you know what I mean? That's just what it is.
The mother of all bouncers, Cal. Ethan's a lot, pal. Ethan's a lot. Put your house on it, you said. Put your house on.
I have no idea.
Put your house on, pal.
I think because I said that Portsmouth should be fine against Wednesday. I think that's what they're on about. I think.
Yeah, probably. Wednesday still I die, boys. Saying can't wait to hear you talk about the Sheffield double, Jimmy. It's a great result for you. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's all I'll say to you.
The marathon to League Two, baby.
Love these streams, lads. Weird one for you both. If United is still in the relegation come January, does Wilder get sacked again? Like and subscribe.
That is a great question. That is a great question, that.
Well, it's one for you, innit? Because I'm saying no, 100% no.
That's ridiculous. If you're in bottom three in January, he's gone. Of course he is. Fans will start to turn on him as well. You can't just use the now aspect what Wilder is. If you're in bottom three in January, all fans are going to be looking like, we've got to do it. It don't matter. But you're going to go down and have him in League One just because he's a Sheffield United boy.
It's like 3 months away. You can't sack him after 3 months.
Oh, okay, but we can sack somebody after 5 games.
Yeah, we can. Right, okay. Yeah, we can. You didn't sit through it.
This is Hampshire at Rotherham. All over again. You would get relegated just to have Wilder. You.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I hope you both okay. A great football show, Jimmy and Callum. Thank you, Paul. Very much appreciated, pal. Andy Jones says, yo, guys, are you two for popping into Donny for a few beers sometime? Are you up for popping into Donny for a few beers, pal?
Probably in a couple of months. We've got them away. So, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
I'm an away fan, Jim.
You are, yeah. I thought you were a fake fan. What were they called you?
Yeah, that was
you. Louis says, it'll be the first 30-40 points. Blades, first to 30 or 40 points. Blades or Barnsley. I'm not confident at the moment. Up the Ramble, up the Yorkshire.
Yeah, well, I won't be either.
Look, I think...
Well, you've got 0, so it's not hard to work out how far we are in front. 16 points clear here currently.
Yeah, I think they're nearly halfway there.
And you've not set off. You've stalled a few times.
Yeah, I don't like to say it, Lewis, but they're going to do it out there. Here we go.
On, get to end it. I know
John says, I've been listening to all the bad stuff about Jack Robinson on here. I was concerned when his name was on the team sheet on the weekend, but he was brilliant alongside Clara. Would Wilder have let him go? Good question. Wilder probably wouldn't have let him go. Wilder played him into a contract because he rolled over an extra year by playing the amount of games he did last season, which is why you had to pay a fee for him to get him away from us. A lot of Blades will tell you it's a good move that he's gone because, off the pitch, he's not known to be the best character either at times when things aren't going his way. I don't think he's a great footballer. You are?
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it, mate. He's a decent championship defender, is what I'd say. I think he'll work hard. He'll put his head in. He'll put his foot in. He's tough. but he's got a mistake in him, and he'll do all right for you at this level. Any thoughts on Jack Robinson, pal?
No, not asked.
Not asked.
Could not care less.
Terry says, "Hi Jim, Cal, great show. Just wondering if the Blades may be thinking about Tom Lawrence as a free agent to add some goal potential to midfield. I think we tried to get him before he went to Rangers.
These are ronking players, man.
Yeah, then no, not for me, Terry. Not for me. How old is he now? 34?
Yeah, he's been about forever.
Yeah. Oh, dear me.
That is not a player that's going to propel you up division.
No, it ain't. Harriman says Wilder will get him firing again, but it won't be straight away.
Yeah, I agree.
I
think I were 18th, honestly. I would right all along.
Michael says, Wolves, shut up, you. And Michael says, Wolves are horrendous. Wouldn't put much weight into the performance. The result is good. That's all you need to do, though, isn't it? Just beat what's in front of you. No matter how bad an established side starts this season, I can never, in good conscience, go against them. We always see them go on really good runs in February, March, April.
Yeah.
Time. Fair?
That's a fair point. In reference to like Southampton, Ipswich and that.
Michael's predicting a Tyler Adams 90th minute winner for a 1-0 lead. 1-0 win at Leeds. Cups his ears to the Ellen Road crowd. That won't be toxic at all.
They'll put more than one past you, depending on what Leeds team comes up.
Connor bringing Jimmy and Cal to the light side. Leeds.
Never happening.
Never
Leeds
happening.
fan from Manchester, by the way. Support your local.
Get under that bus, Connor. Get
Disgusting.
under that bus. Michael says Parkinson has lost 10 total matches at home in 4 seasons. His record is mad when you look. So is his spending when you look at that as well.
Yeah, good point.
So I think
I do think the weekend though.
It's a great win at weekend. But as
No,
you go
I think
up
they'll
in the
win this
levels,
weekend. I'm saying I think they've got Derby at home. I think they'll win this weekend again.
but as you go up the levels, the expectations go up. That the accelerated progress of the club, the ambition goes with it as well, particularly with ownership and spend behind it. I completely agree with Carl. If he doesn't continue to overperform, then he will be on the chopping block himself. So,
agree.
Another great show, fellas, says Michael. Thank you, pal. Top stream, fellas. How do you feel about the upcoming EFL Cup games? Don't even know what they are because we're not in the cup. But what's EFL Cup games coming up, Cal?
Bradford are away at Newcastle. Donny, I think, are Tottenham away. Wednesday, Leeds, Sheffield United, all big sides of wank. Barnsley have got Brighton at home at Cup. We're going to get annihilated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be a good laugh. I'm going. Because I go to games.
Yeah. Because I'm a real fan.
Because I go to the games.
Cal, what else you want to call before we let everybody go?
I still think Barnsley getting promoted automatically. We'll just bow on that one.
Oh, my goodness me.
Yep.
Right. Well, I've got to watch along at 7:45 because I've got to pick kids up from Brownies. So we'll if anybody wants to join us for that, we're on from 7:45 on Ramble FC watching Millwall against Watford. But
score prediction?
Score prediction for that: Millwall 2-0.
See, I think Millwall will win, so I'll go 1-0 Watford.
Okay.
That's my logic.
Makes sense.
We'll come back to this next week.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, we'll come back to you next week. See you all in a bit.